Governor Shapiro, I believe he's the most underrated prospective candidate for 2028 for the Democrats.
Really?
I do. Underrated. And he's making moves in the last 2 weeks to show that he almost certainly plans to run. Did a couple of national interviews, including one with The Atlantic. I recommended to you last week. He's doing some event in D.C. tomorrow. And according to Axios, he's determined to not only win re-election next year, but to do a lot of stuff in the state. When there are a lot of competitive U.S. House races, some state races, and he wants to show that he can be a kingmaker and a field leader in a big battleground, the ultimate battleground state next year as a calling card for 2028. And it's clear if you read the Atlantic piece, he wants to kind of refute the arguments made against his candidacy. So, Nomi, where do you rate Josh Shapiro as a candidate? Is he in the top tier, second tier for 28?
Oh, I definitely think he's in the top tier. I don't think he's underrated at all. I think he's very much discussed, among
Yeah.
Democrats as one of the top tier candidates. And I think you're right. Like, he's been very smart. I was working in a race recently in Philadelphia, and he's been very smart in reaching out to progressives in a way that I think that most progressives wouldn't traditionally think he would. So internally in the state, he knows he needs to keep that excitement alive to make sure that he performs strong for reelection, but obviously also for his potential run for president, whether it's in the primary or in the general. I think he needs to change his cadence up a little bit, like close your eyes and he sounds like Obama. That doesn't sit well with progressives. I think that doesn't sit well. I think that, I'm just going to be honest. Like, if I were sitting there training, I'd be like, cut it.
In the Atlantic story, he says he doesn't hear that. He doesn't hear.
He doesn't. He sounded very different a few years ago. So maybe you should go back to the old speeches.
Mark, if we just went in the time machine to the future and he was the nominee, would you say, oh my goodness, he's formidable? Or would you say, we'll beat this guy?
Well, if he became the nominee with under that assumption, like being from a big purple state, like that, you have to take that very seriously. Currently, though, like you might say he's the most underrated Democratic contender. He's also the most untested. So they have a divided state House Democrats in the state of Pennsylvania. They're not going to have to give him something that he's going to veto, whereas Republicans, they're not going to give him anything to take a stand on either. So, like, even though he might have his lane of, being a purple state governor, he hasn't really done anything with it yet. And so to carve out a lane there too, like, that's going to take some time, and we'll have to see.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.
And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and Two-Way Tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.